Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily Reads, and today I have for you a book unhaul. So I know I've showed some of these books before, but I honestly don't know which ones I've showed and which ones I have not. So I just decided I'm going to just film a full-on book unhaul. These are all books that are going into my Pango bookshop, and I will link um, my bookshop down below in the description box. There's only two books here that I'm not putting in my Pango store, and that's because I annotated in them. So I'm going to give those to a free little library near where I live, but the rest are going to Pango bookstores. The reason being, some are ended up getting duplicates of, some one does like there's just reasons, and I'll go through as I share with you my reasons. So without further ado, I'm gonna go grab my books. Sorry, I have two paper bags that are full and overflowing, so actually I'm gonna get a third. So the first I'm getting rid of is Xenogenesis by Octavia E. Butler. This is actually an out-of-print bind-up of Lilith's Brood, the three books that are in this series. It's in relatively decent condition. I've read Pattern Master and I read Parable of the Sower by her, and they were okay. They weren't great for me. And so I don't, and I love Kindred. So I don't know if her hard sci-fi is for me. So that's why I'm getting rid of this, because other books just keep calling my name over her. So hopefully someone will enjoy this and appreciate this more than I would. The next I'm getting rid of is Washington by Ron Chernow. I had great high hopes of reading this, and I realized, like, just in looking at my shelves, I probably I will never get to it. I always do that to myself, like, I'm going to read this, and then I never do. So I might as well just get rid of it while I can, and I'm overflowing my bookcases, and I bought like 3 shelf bookcases this summer, and they're full and already overflowing. So I have to make room. Then I'm getting rid of Parable of the Talents by Octavia E. Butler. Again, I read Parable of the Sower, and it was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't wow me. And so like so I read Parable of the Sower in February of this year, and I've been meaning to read this one. And I just keep looking at it, and I tried it, and I just could not get into it. And I realized I haven't been drawn to reading this, and I don't know if I will be. So it's time to pass this on to someone who will like it. I am getting rid of The Bonesetter's Daughter by Amy Tan, which I loved this book when it first came out. This came out, a long time ago. When did this come out? 2001. So I received this for Christmas one year when it first came out. I read it. I loved it. And I've been meaning to reread it ever since then. It's been over 20 years, and I have not picked it up again. So it's time to let this go. Then I'm getting rid of Temeraire, in the Service of the King by Naomi Novik. This is a bind-up of the first 3 books in the series, and I actually found all of the books in the series, except for the 3rd book, in mass market paperback that are in really pretty good condition. There's a couple where they have cracked spines, but otherwise they all look pretty much brand new, and I got the whole entire series for $1 each per book at my local library book sale. So I'm going to get rid of this. I need to find book 3 in mass market paperback, but I'm going to hold off on that until I read the first 2, see if I like it, and then get the 3rd one. The reason why I splurged on all of them, because I'm like, they were just all right there, and it made sense to me at the time. But so because I have the whole entire series in mass market paperback, it made sense to get rid of this so that way they will match. And then I'm getting rid of Pattern Master and Mind of My Mind by Octavia E. Butler. Again, I read this one earlier in February, and it was okay. But again, I loved Kindred. I'm not sure if her hard sci-fi is for me, so that's okay. I'm getting rid of A Lady Never Surrenders by Sabrina Jeffries. I read this earlier in the year. I did enjoy it. It's like book 4 or 5 in a series. And I enjoyed it, and I probably won't reread it again. So it's time to pass that on. These are books that I might have showed already, and I'm not sure. I'm getting rid of The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. The reason why is in watching people's reviews of this series, this seems to be an amazing book, and then book 3 just kind of ruins the series or wasn't as great. And so it just kind of went, book 1 was great, and then it's pretty downhill from there. And I don't want to do that to myself. So it's time to pass this on. I'm getting rid of the hardback version of The Wise Man's Fears by Patrick Rothfuss. Not because he has not published book 3. I actually haven't read Name of the Wind yet either, but I do have the mass market paperback of Name of the Wind, and I found that for $1 signed at my library. So I have the mass market paperback of Name of the Wind, and I also have this mass market paperback. So I figured they match, so I'm going to get rid of this. I'm getting rid of The Fires of Heaven by Robert Jordan and The Path of Daggers by Robert Jordan. I do need to read The Dragon Reborn. I'm hoping to go harder into Wheel of Time next year. I still have to play catch up with the Cosmere. I need to read Edge of Dancer. I'm trying to read the Cosmere in publication order. But I figured, let me read that and then go hardcore into Wheel of Time. But I found hardback versions of these at an independent bookstore near me, so I can get rid of the paperback versions. I'm getting rid of some romance novels by Sandra Brown. Eloquent Silence, Bittersweet Rain, A Treasure Worth Seeking, Tiger Prince, and Two Alone. I've done some reviews of them on my channel, and they just did not stand the test of time. So, time to pass them on. I am getting rid of Recursion by Blake Crouch. I've already read Dark Matter and Upgrade by him, and Upgrade was not good at all. Dark Matter was okay. And I just don't think Blake Crouch is the author for me. And that's okay. So I didn't even bother reading this. I'm getting rid of What You Wish For by Catherine Center. As a teacher, I found a lot of problems with this book. Just how they react to their new principal. I was like, that's just completely unrealistic. They're all at a private school. There's no way they would have put up with that. They would have been quitting in droves. So I just found it so unrealistic that I couldn't get past that. And I also thought our main character was really immature. And so that was just not a Catherine Center book that hit for me. I'm getting rid of A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray. And actually, I need to put book 2 and book 3 in my Pango bookstore. Those are upstairs. I forgot about those two. But I am going to get rid of that. I read that a lot when it first came out, and I really enjoyed them. And I reread the book, that first one, recently and realized it's not the series for me anymore. Oh, I have The Bodyguard up in my store. And I thought, after reading a bunch of Catherine Center books this summer, I was like, maybe this was a fluke that I liked this so much. And I did listen to it recently and thoroughly enjoyed it. So it still is a really good book, but I could listen to it for free now on Hoopla or at Libby. So I think that's a good idea to get rid of it to make more room. How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. I actually enjoyed the discussion of how to live life post crash as opposed to the romance. And this is better than what you wish for, but not as good as The Bodyguard. Sorry, you're hearing me rustling around in paper bags. I apologize. And then I'm getting rid of Upgrade. Like I said, this just did not work for me. So time to pass that on. I am getting rid of Dune, Chapter House Dune by Frank Herbert. I almost got rid of book 4 and book 5. I'm not sure. So The Heretics of Dune, and I don't remember what the 4th book is. God Emperor Dune. Sorry. So God Emperor Dune and Heretics of Dune. I almost got rid of those 2 books as well. I'm still hanging on to them for the moment. I loved Dune, the first one. Dune Messiah was also really good. Children of Dune was I struggled through that one. So, and I had the goal to read, I did have the goal to read the whole entire series, and I got the books. This is the one I found used at a bookstore, and it just does not match my other 5 books. So that's why I'm getting rid of this for now. But I've heard that you can read books 1 through 3 and kind of complete the Paul cycle. I don't know. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with 4 and 5. But for now, there's that. Now, these are the 2 that are going to my free little library because I did annotate this. So I'm getting rid of The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. And I read this earlier in the year for a book club. I don't regret reading it. I thought it was good. I just am not going to reread it. And it wasn't great for me. And then I'm getting rid of The Priory of the Orange Tree, which I really kind of struggle with doing. But I made it to page 374. And there's 2 characters that I really care for. And one that I care for, I'm already like, I don't know. Like, I like Ed or Ad, however you pronounce her name. And I'm like, she's almost at the bubble of like, I might end up not liking her. And then I like Tane, the dragon rider. But you don't get enough of her. Like, I want more of that. Because I love training sequences, but I don't have enough of that. And then all the other characters I don't really care for. And I made it through 374, and I'm just like, I just don't really care. I don't really care. So maybe I'll read a summary online. I don't know. But that's going to go to free little library. And then these are impulse buys at my library book sale. So A Chippewa Child Life and Its Cultural Background. Like, I'd finished Warrior Girl on Earth, and I love learning about Native Americans, and they had just a whole bunch of stuff in my free little library, and so I grabbed it, and I realized I had to be honest with myself. Probably will not end up reading it. And the same goes for Indian orphanages. Again, I probably will not end up reading it. Like, I feel bad. I have to do better. I'm going to get rid of Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. I read it. I enjoyed it for the most part. I am not a big slice of life person, and that's what that is. I'm going to get rid of The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I know some people love it. I'm not sure if I'll love it. I bought this on a whim. And I have to start making room I need to make space on my shelves for books that I know that I really desperately want to read and I might enjoy. So that's why that is going. I'm getting rid of Cows on Parade. It's a coffee table book. I remember when the Cows on Parade came to Chicago, and it was so much fun. And I went with a friend, and we spent a day in Chicago taking pictures of every single cow that we could find. And then I went by myself and took more pictures. So I have a photo album of that still somewhere. And then I bought this because I was obsessed with the Cows on Parade, but I don't look at this. So I need to get rid of stuff. And then I'm getting rid of Philadelphia's murals. And I bought this for my dad. I lived in Philadelphia for a year. My dad loved art. And this was actually the mural that I remember seeing off of, as I got off of like a train station on the Orange Line, I think it was from. So, but I don't look at it, and it's taking up space. And then I'm getting rid of The Catcher in the Rye. I read this twice, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a good book. I'm not going to read it again, so someone else can enjoy it. I'm getting rid of The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Again, I got this cheap at my library book sale, and I have to be honest with myself. After Priory of the Orange Tree, I'm not quite drawn to Samantha Shannon books right now. Catherine Center, Hello Stranger. I had some major problems with this book. I know I read this for a book club this summer, and everyone in the book club loved it. And I was like, here are some things that I could not get past. And I told them what I couldn't get past. And they were like, we agree with you. Those are problematic. But we were lost in the story. And for me, those things detracted from the story for me. So that's why I'm getting rid of this. And then I found free at my my library, I found Thomas and The Voice of the Night. So I might put these in a free little library. I don't know. Right now they're in my Pango shop. We'll see if someone grabs them. And then if not, then I'll just put them in a free little library. So that is all I'm getting rid of for right now. And I just thought I should record this so you can see what is out there. And like I said, I'll put the link to my Pango shop in the description below. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.